wonderful people. Welcome to Maria Nice Designs. Today, we're going to be looking for rainbows with Simon Says Stamp September 2019 card kit. Today, for my first card, I'll be using the double-sided sheets of the Vicki Boutin Mixed Media 6x8 paper pad. I used some sentiments that I also cut out from that pad, and I basically used the 3M foam mounting tape. The bird there is also fussy cut from a piece of paper, and I'm adding here the Gina K Connect glue to the back of the sentiment strips, and I'm just adding them on to various places. I'm going to attach the bird next. I'm also going to add the Gina K Connect glue as well. I was just showing you that I put the thin Durer foam strips onto the back of the little legs, because very, very tiny thin strips that I carefully placed on the back. I'm going to put some of the Connect glue on the back of the bird as well, so that I can wiggle it around so I can place it exactly to where I want it to be, and I have a little bit of wiggle room time there. So I'm just applying it to above the sentiment that I placed there, getting it down, and just basically I added the other strip above, and I put in some of the Nuvo crystals that came with the kit as well, and I'm adding these gems with the glitter glue. The glitter glue is great for quick drying. It's super quick drying. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but not as much as the Connect glue from Gina K does. But I do use this for gems for the most part. So that's what I'm doing here. Give it a little cleanup around the glue there. And I'm going to attach this to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch base, which is a Nina 110 pound solar white paper. And the paper that came in the kit, the Simon Says paper, is really beautiful. The colors are so vibrant. So I really do like the colors that came in the kit. So I'm attaching it here, centering it, making sure that its placement is the way I want it centered there on the card. And I'm looking at it, and I decided, oh, I wanted to have live for the moments you can't put into words, but I put down you can't put into words live for the moments, so I had to switch that around. You know, we all make mistakes, and I wanted to leave that in because it's part of card making, as we all know. So I just flipped it around. No harm, no foul. That was not an intended pun because there is a bird on the card. Anyway, that was fixed, and we are going to have it completed, and here's the first card. Here's some jazz hands for you, and I just wanted to let you know I did add more to this card, and you'll see it at the end. And for the second card, I also fussy cut more sentiments out of the Vicki Boutin Mixed Media paper, as well as a beautiful butterfly, and I used one of the really pretty rainbow papers as well that was in the card, in this card kit in these papers. And I also, as you will see, I am putting the 3M foam tape on the back so I can give it some dimension here. And I'm doing that very quickly. I'm going to apply the sentiment to the paper. And then I'm also going to prop up the wings of the butterfly, also using some 3M foam tape. The butterfly I had already glued down, just cutting a little piece off the edge there, as you can see. There we go. It's all nice and neat and tidy. And just prop up those beautiful wings. I'm going to cut the paper down to size, and I'm going to use the little paper trimmer here. It's a Tonic Studios paper trimmer. It trims, I believe, up to a 6-inch or an 8-inch. I believe it's 6-inch. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm cutting it down to, I think it was like 4 by 5. And these are the Chamel Crayola additions here. And I am going to add the top to the base, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch base, and it's also Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock. Just going to center the top here, and I'm going to add some of those beautiful colorful Chamel box of crayons enamel dots. I'm going to be adding 3 to one side and 3 to the opposite side after I readjust and recenter the top panel of the card. Get it down nice and flat. And I'll be adding the hearts in the 3 different colors there. I'm going to be using the red, the teal, blue, and the bright green. I'm having some finger dexterity problems, so I'm going to shortly get my EK Tools tweezers out. They work wonders. I love my tweezers, so I'll be using those. Here we go. Get those on a lot quicker, a lot more easily. Readjust it a little bit, and we're going to have the completed card. There you go. For the third card, I basically utilized the metallic 8x8 craft cardstock. That is the Ideology metallic cardstock. And I placed it in the Tim Holtz Sizzix Kaleidoscope 3D embossing folder. And I cut it into 1-inch strips. And I'm alternating that with the Vicky Bouton mixed media paper. As you can see here, I'm just stacking it onto the base cardstock, which is the 110-pound Nina Solar White. And I just wanted to say the metallic crafts cardstock is really a dream to work with in the 3D embossing folder. It usually, regular cardstock, you have to wet a little bit, just kind of dampen it, spritz it so that it doesn't crack. This just molded completely into the folder, the embossing folder, and it looks fabulous in person. The video does not do it justice. So I really loved this embossing folder and the paper together. I mean, I have to get much more of this paper. It's really nice. So this is the finishing up aspect. I have a couple more left here to do. And like I said, I'm alternating it, as you can see. And I have to say, I'm going to be a little disappointing maybe because I didn't have the rest of it to show you because my camera kind of died. I don't know what happened. Somehow, some way it got disrupted in videotaping. So I could not show you the stamping of the sentiment. So basically what I'm going to be showing you next after this last piece is on the card front, I'm going to just show you the card. So here I'm showing you the sentiments. I used hello and the Chamel box of crayons enamel dots in the hearts in the rainbow colors and always here for you. I just flag the edges and I put it all together. Here I'm showing you how I condition my stamps before I use them. I go to the back and apply some embossing ink. That's the part that's going to be applied onto your paper, your cardstock. You just use some clean water, a wipe, anything you would like, dry it off a little bit, and then you apply some embossing ink onto the back. At the moment I have ink on 3 handy, and I just give it a good thick coating, get it really on there. And then I'm going to just tell you to do what I say, not what I do. It'll get your fingers a lot cleaner. You just simply apply cardstock of your choice to to dab off the excess so your fingers will not be shiny and sticky. And that is what I do to condition my stamps. On to card number 4. I'm going to take the largest flower here from the stamp set, and I'm going to take the smallest flower and I'm going to put them on the red cardstock, the schoolhouse red cardstock that came. I'm putting my powder down because I'm going to be embossing with some Gilded gold Brutus Monroe embossing powder. And here I'm just going to show you the setup and I'm going to stamp it out. And I wanted to let you know that it's yet again, my camera was on the fritz. I don't know what it was doing, but I can just about show you the embossing powder. I think I used, I'm sorry, I used the Gina K Amalgam ink on that because I changed my mind. I was going to emboss it, but I decided not to. I'm just going to color it in, which is completely lost, so I'm sorry folks. Basically I'm just showing you how it's laid out for the most part, and then I will show you the completed card, and that's basically how the card will be set up. You don't see the smaller flower on there or the leaves that I stamped as well. So I'm going to give it another try here, give it a nice coating for the second stamping. Get it on there, have a nice crisp line, and then I will be showing you the completed card. This is the 4th completed card. I colored it with Faber Castell Albrecht Durer watercolor pencils. I also, if you see the shimmer in there, it's the Ink on 3's liquid pixie dust, and I used Nuvo pure sheen gemstones as accents on the front. In the 5th card, I am utilizing a large sentiment from the Vicky Bouton mixed media papers and cut it into a strip, then applied it to another thicker strip of paper from the same paper pad that had hearts all over it, which I thought was appropriate for the loved beyond words sentiment. And I applied foam tape to that sentiment and placed it on top. And then I trimmed off the rest once it's applied to the top there, the card topper. Trying to get it centered here. Okay, that should do it. I'm going to apply it to the card top, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. Now I'm going to show you that I'm adding the Chamel dots in an orange and yellow heart to the left side of the sentiment after it was applied to the card topper. And what I'm going to do is I took a leftover piece of the 1-inch strip that I used in a previous card and split it in half from Tim Holt's Ideology, and I flagged the edges, and then I put half of the 1-inch strip on the top of the sentiment and one below to give it some interest. And all those little hearts were from a border strip that's at the top of the paper. It's connected to the paper pad, and I fussy cut the hearts individually, and now I'm placing them kind of wonky style across the top of the panel there. So there are those wonderful, fabulous tweezers that I love so much. And I'm using the Connect glue from Gina K, getting everything placed on there. There we go. So I just used the different colors from the strip and just placed them, you know, kind of up and down, off to the sides, just so it would give it lots of movement and interest. And there we go, there's the final one, got it on there. And next I will be taking this and applying it to a card base that I made with the Simon Says stamp cardstock that was in the kit, and that's the Island Blue. I'm going to trim it down to a top folding card there. It's a, I guess it's a horizontal top folding card. And I'm just going to add the Connect glue from Gina K Designs and place the topper there onto the base, centered. There we go, getting it nice and centered and flat onto the paper there. And there you have the 5th and final card. I'm going to have some extra bonus cards as well. Here is the 5 cards spinner, and there's the extra bonus cards. There's 1 and 2. Please click on the bell icon for more videos in the future. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. Blessings. Bye-bye.